Okay, so for today, we're gonna be solving our first example, which is the sieve analysis. Don't worry, guys. There's really no complicated computation when it comes to sieve analysis. Actually, madali lang siya. Okay. In my perspective, siya yung pinakamadali in the context of geotechnical engineering. Okay, so we are given with this example. So in this example, binigay na sa atin yung US sieve number and the mass of soil retained on each sieve. Okay, so ito siya. So this is in terms of grams. Okay, so what we're going to compute are the D10, the D30, D60, uniformity coefficient, and coefficient of gradation. Okay? So, previous topic natin, we actually discussed about the procedure of doing the sieve analysis. Okay? So, in this video, hindi ko na siya i-discuss pa ulit. Okay? Basahin nyo na lang yung um, section 1.2, I think, of your LMS module. Okay, so let's proceed now with the computation. Okay, madali lang to, guys. Okay, if you are already given with the sieve number and the mass of soil, okay, the next thing that you're gonna do is to get the cumulative sum of the mass of soil retained in each sieve. Okay, so what you're going to do, add ako ng isa pang column here, and I'm gonna name it cumulative mass. Okay? So, sulat ko lang siya. Okay, so that is now your cumulative mass. So, how are we going to get the cumulative mass? Okay, so very easy lang to, guys. What you're going to do is, in the first row, kopyahin mo yung mass of the soil retained in the sieve number 4. Okay, so you're going to copy this here, and then second na gagawin mo, guys, is actually to sum up yung ating first row with the mass of the soil in the second sieve. So ito siya. Okay, so yung 0 na yan, i-add mo siya sa 40. Okay, and that will now be the cumulative mass, okay, retained. Okay, so that's 0 plus 40, that is a 40 as well. Okay, so let's do that with the remaining sieve. Okay, so you have to use your calculator now. So that's now 40 plus 60, so that is 100. Okay, so 100 plus 89, that's 189. Then 189 plus 140, that is 329. And then 329 plus 122, that is 451. Okay, and then 451 plus 210, that is 661. I-zoom ko lang siya ng konti. Plus 56, that is 717. And then plus 12, and that is 729. Okay, so that is now the cumulative mass of the soil in each sieve. Okay, so take note that the bottom of the sieve setup, which is the pan, okay, that wala siyang butas. So lahat ng soil na nag-pass through sa lahat ng sieve natin na nasa taas ng pan, okay, and mas maliit pa siya sa mga sa diameter ng butas ng pan. So ma-retain na lang siya sa pan, okay? So itong 729 dito, guys, that is actually your total mass of the soil, or what we call the summation of M. Okay? So, yung 729 na yan, guys, yan yung total mass ng soil sample na nilagay mo doon sa sieve. Okay? And then, nag-perform ka ng sieve analysis. So, that is your total mass. So, that is now the summation of M. Okay? So, next thing that you're going to do, guys, is actually to determine the percent finer. Okay, so sulat ko siya dito, percent finer. Okay, or that is the percent passing. Okay, we call it as well the percent passing. So we actually have a formula for this. Okay, ito siya guys, yung nandito sa ating sieve analysis dun sa may sieve analysis steps sa ating module. So that is actually equal to, okay, sulat ko dito yung formula. F is equal to the summation of M minus yung cumulative mass in each row. Okay, sabihin natin M1 plus M2 plus dot 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 hanggang MI. Okay? All over the summation of M multiplied by 100. Okay, so that is the formula. Okay, in order for you to better understand, let's do it here. Okay, so these are the cumulative mass. So what are we going to do now? Let's try to compute for the first row. So the first row is actually equal to, using the formula, yung F niyan is equal to 729. Okay, lagay ko dito. 729 minus, ano yung cumulative mass at the first sieve? That's 0, all over 729 times 100. Okay? So that is actually equal to 100, guys. Okay? So it means that 100% of the soil sample passed through sieve number 4. Okay, sieve number 4. So 100% finer sila than sieve number 4. Okay, so I'm gonna move this now. Okay, ililipat ko na siya dun sa gilid para isulat na natin yung ganon, yung percent finer. So this is now 100%. Okay, so 100%. Okay, similarly, we can following the same step, gawin natin yan doon sa ating remaining rows. Okay, so that's 729 minus 40 all over 729 times 100 naman. Okay, so that is equal to 94.51. Okay, next one, 100 yung nasa row 3. So, kung ano natin, diretso ko na. So, this is 86.28. Okay, and then next, this is 74.07. Next, 54.87. And yung susunod is 38.13. Then, next one is 9.33. Okay, and then next one, that's 1.65, and then at the bottom, 0. Okay, okay, so that is your percent finer. Okay, so next na gagawin natin, guys, since meron tayong percent finer, we can actually compute now for the required questions here. Okay, for the what is required, we have the D10, D30, and the D60. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna copy this one dun sa baba. Okay, isolate na natin siya. So kakopy ko siya dito sa baba para dun na lang, yun lang naman yung reference na kailangan natin. Okay, so eto siya, guys. Okay. Okay. So next thing that you're gonna do is, in the problem, hindi na ibigay yung diameter ng each sieve. Okay, so what are we going to do? We just have to look into the table. Okay, ito yung standard sieve sizes, and copy the diameter or the opening of each sieve. Okay, so I'm gonna write here opening. Okay, so don't worry, guys, later on bibigay ko naman yung diameter. Okay, kung hindi nyo siya kayang i-memorize, okay lang naman. Well, sometimes, binibigay naman yan, minsan hindi. Okay? Okay. This is in terms of mm. Okay. So, ayan. So, determine na natin yung size. The first sieve is 4, then the second, 10 and 20. So, sa 4, meron tayong 4.75. Okay. And then, 10 is 2. And then, 20 is 0.850. Okay. Para mas mabilis, kopyahin na lang natin yung nandun sa ating um, solution dun sa nasa module. Okay, pinapakita ko lang guys kung paano kinompute yung mga yan. Baka kasi ma-confuse kayo. Okay, so we have 0.425. Okay, and then 0.250, 0.180, 0.150, and then 0.075. Okay? And then ito, wala siyang opening kasi yan yung pan. Okay, so ayan na yung opening nyo guys. Okay? So after this one, after determining the percent finer and the opening, we can now compute for the D10, D30, and D60. Take note that this D10, D30, and D60, these are actually the particle size. Okay? So these are particle size. Okay? So, yung D10 that corresponds to the diameter or the particle size at 10% finer. And then yung D30 naman, the particle size at 30% finer and D60 at 60% finer. Okay. So, sir, paano natin kukunin yung particle size at 10%, 30%, at 60%? Gayong doon sa percent finer natin, wala naman nakalagay dyan na 10%, 30%, or 60%. So what are we going to do, guys? Okay. Normally, guys, as yung ating computation, we can actually interpolate that. Okay. We just need to locate kung saan dito yung nagko-contain ng 10%, 30%, and the 60%. Okay. So in here, sa percent finer mo, yung 10% finer actually lies between 38.13 and 9.33. So yung 10, D10, yung 10% mo, okay, is nandito. Okay? How about yung 30% naman? Okay? So your 30% as well is located between 38.13 and 9.33. How about yung 60% mo? 60% mo guys is andito siya. Okay, dito siya. Yan. This is now your 60%. Okay. So it means that yung D60 mo is actually located here as well. Okay? The particle size of the 60% is located somewhere in between 0.425 and 0.250. And similarly, your D10 and D30 is located between 0.18 and 0.15. Okay, so ito yung D30 mo and D10. Okay, so we will now use linear interpolation to get the diameter of or the particle size of what is required, the D30, the D10, and the D60. Okay, so in here, okay, i-number ko siya. Okay, so computein muna natin yung D10, okay, or yung effective size natin. Okay, so the D10 by linear interpolation, okay, gawin natin is, let's take the difference between 38.13 minus yung 10% all over 10% minus ano yun, 9.33. Okay, so ayan. And this should be equal to 0.18, the particle size, minus D10 all over D10 minus 0.15 naman. Okay, so let's check now what will be the value of our D10. Okay, so calculate ko lang siya saglit. Mukhang matagal yung calculation kasi may variable sa denominator. Okay, so normally guys, matagal to yung calculation pag ganun. So your D10 now is equal to, okay. And by the way, yung ginamit dun sa nasa LMS natin, sa module natin, sa example, is by graphical method. Okay? So, yung sa atin naman, interpolation method yung gagamitin natin. Okay? Para mas madali, para hindi na tayo mag-graph, guys. Okay. So, your D10 now is 0.15 mm. Okay? So, that is your D10. Next one, let's try naman to interpolate and let's try to get our D60. Okay? So your D60 lies between this one. Okay, so ito and ito naman yung gagamitin natin. Okay. So 74.07 minus 60 all over 60 minus 54.87. Okay. So, ayan. So, kapag nag-interpolate, guys, you just take the difference of this and yung nasa middle, and then yung nasa middle minus yung nasa bottom. Ganun, guys, ang mag-interpolate. Okay? Similarly, ganun din yung gawin nyo dito. Ganyan. Okay? So, ganyan siya, guys. Okay? Ganun na mag-interpolate. So, I hope you know how to interpolate. Okay? Medyo grade 1 lang ang kumbaga grade 1 lang ang mag-interpolate. Next is 0.425 minus D60 all over D60 minus, ano yun? 0.25. Okay, so what is now the value of our D60? Okay, so let me just calculate this. Minus 60 all over 60 minus 54.87. That must be equal to 0.425 minus D60 all over D60 minus 0.25. Okay. So, medyo matagal ata yung calculation nito. Okay. So, while waiting for the calculator to give us the answer, isulat na din natin yung interpolation natin for the 30 naman. Okay. So, your D30 is here. Okay, so 38.13. Parang pareho lang sa 10%. Okay? So, try natin kopyahin na lang yung 10% minus 30 naman all over 30 minus 9.33, which is equal to 0.180 minus D30 all over D30 minus 0.150. Okay. So, nilabas na ni calculator yung value ng D60 and the D60 is equal to 0.30. Okay. Okay. So, that's now your D60. Yung D30 natin, let's try now to compute 38.13 minus 30 all over 13 minus 9.33 must be equal to 0.180 minus D30 all over D30 minus 0.15. Okay, so your D30 is equal to 0.17 mm. Okay, so meron na tayong D10, D60, and D30. So let's now compute for the uniformity coefficient and the coefficient of gradation. Okay, so uniformity Okay. So your uniformity coefficient is given by the formula Cu is equal to D60 all over D30. 10. Okay, so that is the formula for your uniformity coefficient. Ayun guys. So makikita mo yan sa LMS mo. So this is now equal to, what's your D60? That's 0.30 all over D10 mo, that's 0.15. So your uniformity coefficient is 2. Okay? Next one, your coefficient of gradation. Okay. Okay. So your coefficient of gradation naman, that is CC, which is equal to D30 squared all over D60 multiplied by D10. Okay. And that is now equal to 0.17 squared all over, yan yung na-compute nating D30 kanina guys. 0.30 multiplied by 0.15. Okay, and what is now your coefficient of gradation? That is, okay, that's 0.64. Okay, as easy as that, guys. Okay, so these are now our computation, our D10, D60, D30, and kapag meron na kayo nun, pwede nyo computein yung uniformity coefficient at coefficient of gradation using the formula. Okay, so let's take a look at the answers. Okay, so eto yun guys, yung sagot niya dito, yung D10 natin is 0.15, D30 is 0.17, and D60 is 0.27. Okay, so dito sa example or dito sa solution ni Book, okay, medyo nagkaiba lang tayo ng value for the D60. Okay? Yung D60 natin is 0.30. So, why is that, sir? Baka matanongin nyo. Baka mali yan, sir. Ganon. Okay? So, kasi guys, ang ginamit na solution sa book is graphical method. Okay? So, in terms of accuracy and precision, okay, I would say that the interpolation that we did is actually much more accurate than the graphical representation. Kasi sa graphical representation kasi, or graphical method, i-graph mo um, yung percent finder ng curve sa isang semi-logarithmic paper, okay? And then you're going to plot, okay? Hanapin mo dun yung diameter by, kumbaga, ganito guys, example, ganyan. Okay. So, ito yung graph. Okay. Ito yung percent finder mo. Tapos, ito yung diameter. Okay? So, kapag pinlat mo siya, para magiging ganun yung itsura niya. So, kung hanapin mo yung 60, 30, and 10, magpo-project ka ng horizontal line, and kung ano man yung tinamaan niya sa curve, project mo siya vertically, and that is now your D60, mga ganyan guys. Mga ganun. Para ganun yung graphical method. Okay? So, much better, ang gawin na lang natin para hindi na tayo mag-graph is interpolation method na lang. Okay? So, yan yun. And anyway, wala naman masyadong, hindi naman ganun kalayo kasi in terms of the value naman, the difference between the two values, kapag graphical method and the interpolation method, that's 0.03 lang. So, napakaliit na difference. Okay? So, yun guys, ganun kayo mag-compute ng sieve analysis. Okay? It's very easy. And the solution for this one will be uploaded later on after natin ma-discuss yung physical properties of soil part 2. Okay? So, yun lang guys. If you do have questions or kung gusto nyo ng one-on-one na consultation with me or session with me, definitely PM nyo lang ako sa Telegram and I'll set a schedule for you guys. Okay, so that is all. And please, try nyo lang siyang isolve din on your own. Okay, the process of learning starts with the lecture and ends with you practicing on your own. Okay, ganun guys sa pag ganito yung setup natin pag solving. Okay, if you try to solve it on your own, repeatedly, mas makakabisado ninyo. Okay, so without further ado, thank you so much for your time in watching this video lecture. I'll see you again soon, guys.